Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading for this full moon in Capricorn. In fact, it's the second full moon in a row in the sign of Capricorn, which is amazing and astonishing because it actually reminds me of when I started this channel. And it's fascinating because it was the blue full moon that was the second full moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius is just, the second sign, the next sign after Capricorn. So it's beautiful how it feels like this reading, it's almost like wanting to take me back in time and appreciate like where I was when I started this channel, and like everything that happened, all the events that unfolded that actually brought me to where I am right now at San's house, and also like just like this beautiful connection with her. And it's also interesting because, well, let me show you my cards, right? So because it's a collective reading, I'm doing it with my big combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards, so you'll see both of them in your reading today. Although here in this first spread, at least, there are only tarot cards, which also to me, when that happens, it's almost like saying to me, just go back to basics, because like truth is simple. And I want to say, okay, so going back to the message of how this second full moon in Capricorn is taking me back to all those years, 2021, with the blue full moon in Aquarius, where I started this channel. It's actually like this full circle moment that is here in this message today. And I want to say that perhaps for you as well, you might feel the difference. It's like if you go back to 2021, it's like in it now, right? It's like almost like this mirror effect of like what happened back then and how it's now different, or how it's now evolved into this full circle moment where things seem to be complete in a way, but also like beginning something new, where it's beautiful because there is like over and over again this message of coming together, coming full circle, but then splitting, right? Like coming apart. There is like this splitting of timelines, or just like the paths just breaking apart in a sense, but still being very much parallel, which is amazing. And it's almost like there is a purpose in it. And I want to say that if you connect to somebody that is like, it's like it's very meaningful to you, it's a person that is also something that is really significant, and I'm going to show you why, but somebody that has helped you to overcome a lot of your fears, a lot of your bad habits, a lot of maybe old patterns, right? Maybe, what is the word? Addictions. The reason why I'm saying that is because we're beginning with the devil. And first of all, the devil here has this undertone, this underlying message of somebody that has helped you see maybe how you were being influenced by such negative thoughts, or negative behaviors or thoughts, or did I say thoughts twice? That's interesting because it feels like this message today, it's all about like, well, not yesterday, the Aquarius reading, it was all about doubling the energy, right? Especially in the extended, it was all about like doubling the energy, and how it had like this ripple effect around the world. So here it's almost like that is coming full circle, because something that has been like maybe like this ancient pattern, right, a destructive pattern, can now be sewed together. I often talk about this card as almost like this one path that got split, right, or got broken, and for some reason it makes us feel, right, in the collective as if we are like in these crossroads, right, almost like these very big decisions that we have to make in life. And depending on which side we choose, it's like we're going to have very different experiences. But as I'm saying this, it's like it's just going back to the first thing that I saw with this card, that was like the two people here, right? It's almost like I'm seeing like you and another, like just walking from this side, and then here it's like both of you need to take like each path separately, right? So the crossroads is not just for you, right? The one that I'm addressing this message to, it feels like this is also for somebody that is very meaningful, that is very significant in your life, that you have been perhaps like traveling like a common path together, right? But now it seems like it's almost like you're meeting at this end of the road type of thing, but it's not necessarily the end of the road. It's more like because both of you need to take like these separate paths. And you see here how it's like it goes like separate. It's like it's more open, right? It's like it feels like both of you are becoming more and more distant from one another, but you see here how it comes like slightly closer, and then it feels like it's going to repeat that pattern, right? Almost like this I don't know how to say this. It's like it's not necessarily a zigzag because I'm not seeing like you crossing, right? It's almost like the crossroad is only here. So it's almost like you've been together until this point, but now you have to part ways in a sense, right? Actually, that was what I heard, right? Parting ways. Because both of you need to go your own individual paths, which is fascinating because actually the last card here is the individual path, right? The Nine of Wands, but we're going to get there. So this to me was showing me this parting ways, right? Where both of you need to walk your own individual paths, but almost like being parallel, being like mirrors to one another. It's like it feels like sometimes you're going to become a little bit more distant, but then you're getting closer together, and it feels like it's going to repeat until you meet again, right? Because this is what I'm seeing with the Emperor here. So the Emperor here is just giving me this full circle moment, right? And I want to say that perhaps this also ties also with the the thing that I was saying in the beginning, right? About the connection to the blue full moon in Aquarius in 2021. So it's almost like this time loop, right? So something that has happened maybe to bring you guys together, you and this other, right? It doesn't need to be a partner, whomever is significant to you enough to be like almost like traveling parallel timelines or like act as a mirror to you, right? So it's almost like what you experience, they are experiencing as well. And it's almost like if you have experienced that in the past, and that's what made you both connect. And it's almost like you had to like each like it's almost like braid your own paths individually, right? Separately, but then here you are coming together here. It's almost like it's like you don't have to worry about this parting ways type of moment that is happening right now, because I want to say that maybe it's happened in the past, right? So it's like, you know, that at some point, yes, it's like you're going to grow apart, but then you're going to grow like together, right? It's like you're going to come together again. And so I want to say that this is like a huge full circle moment, right? So it could be related to like something that brought you together, that, you know, maybe you were separated and now you're together again, and maybe there is like another phase of like needing to be together, needing to be apart, but then coming together, because it's like I see almost like as almost like the crowning of your ability to win over or to overcome the bad habits, the negative thoughts, right? It's like that's what is showing the path, right? So instead of being like split up, it's almost like next time it's not necessarily going to be like a crossroads. In fact, I want to say that there is work to be done individually, right? So it's almost like, because you see here how the leaves, they seem like they are being braided. So each one of you going your own way, maybe facing your own fears, but now individually, because now you know that it's almost like you've had their support. Maybe they received your support, right? Maybe it's a mutual thing. It's like a reciprocal thing. But now it's like you need to do this on your own, right? And maybe so do they. It's like it is reciprocal, as I said. It's like it's not like you're going to do like something completely different than them. It's like actually it is very much parallel. It's like it's emphasized over and over and over again. But the Eight of Wands here is just talking about, like, because to me, sometimes the Eight of Wands talks about, what is the name? An obstacle course, right? So it's almost like a parkour. It's like you need to be agile to overcome that. But also what I was seeing, especially because to me, the symbol for the wand suit reminds me of a tree, and here are the leaves, right? So it's almost like braiding with the trees, braiding with nature, braiding with your own nature, right? Your own individual natures are like being braided, so that when you come together, it's like you're just more, it's like you're more empowered, right? Talking about the Emperor being so empowered, right? Both of you individually are going to empower yourselves even more. And then when you come together again, it's like you will know where you're coming from, right? So, but also you will know that you, even though you might not be like close enough, right? Or together in each other's like daily life, it's like you'll know that it's like with them in this parallel timeline as you, it's like you will know that you're capable of overcoming this, right? So this talks about like this agile move, right? But how it's like the steps that you take are actually going to work in your favor, because the more that you do this, the more that you go through these obstacles and you surpass them, it's like the more you're braiding your path towards them, right? And it's almost like it's also happening to them, right? This is not just for you. And also the beautiful thing here, the Seven of Swords is just what I heard actually. It's like a group of angels, right? The angels are accompanying you, because what I saw here was like this protection, and it's almost like each one here is like a different angel, and it's almost like they change guard, right? It's almost like for each obstacle there is one angel that is in charge, and so it's almost like they are swapping places to make sure that you are intact, that you are completely protected. Because I want to say that here it's almost like you're going to move very fast, right? And maybe it's like you don't even need to think too much about what you're doing. It's like the angels or your spirit team or whomever you identify that are, you know, in the subtle realms, it's like they're going to do the thinking for you. They're going to it's almost like they're going to give you the direction, right? So, but it's like this switching of guidance. It's almost like you're going to have a guide for each different braid, like each different obstacle, each different, because you see here how the leaves are almost like steps, right? So it's almost like each day or each phase that you grow maybe apart, it's like you're not necessarily apart, right? It's like you are pretty much guided, you are pretty much protected, you have your own team that is working to guide you along the way, right? Because it's almost like you and them, both of you need to braid this. This is what is going to bring you closer again. This is what is going to allow you to come together in a future moment, as perhaps it had already in the past. So maybe this is also for them, but I'm not really sure, because although I do see that there is like this reciprocity, this mutual thing going on right between you, I do see that this is mainly for you to know that you are completely protected, right? So the card that's coming next, which is another 8, is talking about how instead of being like a lot of obstacles that perhaps are igniting your anxiety or triggering a lot of, you know, old fears, because you know that you can overcome them now, what this is showing me is like this shower of love, right? It's like you will know that the more you move forward, the more that you braid your own path, the more that you overcome your own obstacles in this individual path, it's like the more you will know that you have like beautiful memories, right? It's like when you go back to your memories, it's almost like you will know that you have been present, right? Every step of the way, because here's the thing, it's like even though you might go very fast, it's almost like these guides, they're gonna make sure that you remember through your emotions. This is what I'm seeing. It's like all of these emotions, almost like this emotional rush from time to time, right? Maybe when you hit a certain obstacle or a certain, what is that word? Like milestone, right? It's almost like maybe when you finish braiding that next phase or the next, step, it's like you receive like this rush of emotion, right? It's almost like this remembrance. And I know that to me, the Six of Cups is the card that talks about like all of this memory. And when I was having that thought, the Six of Cups came through, right? So it was just confirming to me that all of this emotion, it is tying to the one that you were braiding this path with, but now it seems like both of you need to go your separate ways to braid your own individual paths and then come together the next time, right? Especially because to me, the 2 8s are the overlaying of 2 5s, which, represent the individual. So it's almost like the 8 of Wands and the 8 of Cups are both like your connection, right? How bonded you are, how connected you are, how it's like there is this very emotional but very fiery aspect of this connection. So maybe there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of love, right? So even though it might be sad, I don't feel like sadness is the right word, to be honest. It's almost like this understanding that both of you are doing what you need to do separately, but then coming together and sharing all of the common stories, all of the synchronicities, all of the coincidences, right, that both of you experienced when you were apart, right? So the Six of Cups is just talking about like, it's not exactly the good old days, but it is what I'm hearing right now, because I feel like the good old days are still very much present, because the next card that is coming up is the Six of Pentacles, which to me, it's like this train track. So things are on track. Things are exactly how they're meant to be. And because these 2 cards are very parallel, right? It's interesting how, as I was saying, both the Devil and the Emperor were talking about like this, coming together and then coming apart and then coming together. The same here, coming together, coming apart, coming together, right? So it feels like it happens a few times. And I want to say that it's like the major arcana version and then the minor arcana version. So when you are apart, you're not necessarily apart, right? It's like you're still very much in a relationship or in a friendship or in a very deep connection, right? An emotional one, and also like an agreement, right? It's like, it's not necessarily like a formal agreement or a contract of sorts, but it's like an agreement that both of you here in this time on Earth, you're both agreeing to just run these parallel timelines or run these, travel down these parallel paths, right? Because you know that at some point it's like, it's almost like the more you do this, the more it's going to crown both of you, right? So it's almost like one is crowning the other. It's so gorgeous because I want to say like crowning over each other's like internal fears or maybe insecurities, right? So it's almost like you need to experience things separately, but then when you come together, it's like this beautiful crowning moment. It's gorgeous. It's like both of you acknowledging like how much you have overcome, how many obstacles you have overcome, and also like maybe the guides, right? Maybe that you have mutual guides, who knows? And maybe that's the reason why they're always swapping, right? Because maybe, for certain situations that you're going through, it's like a certain guide is going to step up, and then, they swap because they need to take care of your friend or your partner, right? That would be like so amazing. But anyway, so going back to the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, right? The 2 parallel lives or timelines or perceptions of reality, right? It's like you are pretty much connected and you've been connected. That's what the Six of Cups is emphasizing. It's like, this is not a new thing, right? And maybe it goes back all the way, to your childhood. Maybe it goes back all the way to past lives. you've been doing this braiding thing type of connection, right? It's like going parting ways, but then coming together, and parting ways and coming together. And each moment it gets like even bigger, it gets even more potent, maybe more emotional, right? But then you know that there is purpose in this, because we're ending here with the Nine of Wands. And you know, as I said in the beginning, the Nine of Wands to me, well, the nines, they represent the individual path, but specifically the Nine of Wands, and most of all because, you know, we had the Eight of Wands before, it's almost like you know that you can recognize your own individual path. And I want to say that they too, right? It is very much connected. It is like this mirrored thing. So maybe they do something very similar, like as you, or maybe they have like a similar job. Maybe they have a similar perception field or awareness of reality, whatever it is very similar, but it is also very unique, right? And you know how only you can go down your own path, and also how they can go down their path. It's like you couldn't walk their path for them, and you know, vice versa. It's just not possible. It's like, I want to say that it wouldn't be as strong enough or as strong as needed to overcome this, to overcome the obstacles, right? So it has like your name on it, or it has your imprint on it. It's like it's your energetic signature, right? So this card to me represents like the beauty, right? Despite all the challenges. And I want to say that you see the beauty. You have the capacity to see it, especially because, you know, over and over again, you have this confirmation, this validation from the universe, especially from these guys here, right? Whether they are known to you or not. Maybe they're going to be like new guides that are just being introduced to you, but they're going to, because of the rush, right? The emotional rush from time to time, it's like they're going to just give you confirmation that this is very much like a common agreement. Like both of you are in this relationship, both of you are together, both of you are doing your separate work, but also like the mutual work, right? Whatever brings you together from time to time, whatever just makes this connection even more powerful, right? So yeah, ending here with the Nine of Wands just makes me think that now it's like it's your path, right? It's like now you know that if it started here as both of you you know, just hug each other in this crossroads, and you know that now each one of you are going your separate ways, it's like what you're saying, I want to say, it's like you're ready for it, right? It's like, okay, so let me see what are these challenges, because to me the Nine of Wands is like that muddied field where it's like if you have truly the eyes to see, it's like you'll be able to see like the potential, the abundance, right? All of the beauty in this path, right? And even like going through that path, it's like it just makes the flowers bloom, right? It's like your energy going through that muddy field, it's like it's what awakens the beauty in it. So you know that that's like something that only you can do now. And it's beautiful because, you know, it's not the sadness that typically is associated with this, right? And like knowing that you need to leave. Maybe from time to time, you know, with all of the good memories, right, of the good old days, it's like you'll have that feeling coming back to you. But again, it's like just the confirmation. It's like you are connected, you are in agreement, you are doing your work. So continue, right? Keep doing your work, keep following your own unique path, because they are doing the same thing. And it's like, it's almost like if you slow down and if you get caught up in the past, it's almost like you're gonna miss each other, right? And that's not the point. It's like you have to just keep on, you know, just braiding this path, because they're doing the same, and then you're just going to meet. It's like you already know this, right? And there is confirmation here. So I wonder if these ones are going to show up in the extended, because I'm very curious to see what else they have to say. I think it's the first time that I've seen this card that way anyways. So I am going to pull more cards to see where this wants to go. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological rooms in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find a link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. And by the way, happy full moon. Bye.